So hopefully this is working. I'm gonna check on my phone. I had to download Facebook. There we go. Hopefully this is working. Okay, let's see. If I look on my phone for this live video that is currently happening. There I am. Somebody's here. Hello. All right, let me get Trina. Hey, Lauren. And Laura. Hey, Audrey. Okay. So, here's what we're going to do today. We're going to do some hip opening, some balancing, some arm strengthening. So there's going to be some side planks. So just do whatever feels good for you. If you need to skip anything, skip it. If you want to use props, you can get like a block or some books to stack up, but I don't have any plans for you to have to need any of that. Yeah, so grab your mat, grab some water. If you want to and you have the ability to, you can put on a playlist from my Spotify that you like, and you can listen to the music whilst we do the yoga. I just got some AirPods, and so I might try next week listening to a playlist in one ear while I teach, and then I can tell you what playlist we're listening to, and then we can all listen to the music together. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, so finding your way onto your mat when you're ready. Hopefully I can, there we go, look, I got all range of motion with this iPad. Maybe I'll use this all the time. So finding your way onto your back when you're ready, we're gonna just take the soles of the feet down onto the ground, bring them a little bit wider than your hips and let your knees drop in towards one another. Take a long, deep breath in through the nose. As you exhale, release out through the mouth. One more breath like that. Long, deep inhale in, lengthening your breath as much as you can. And as you exhale, release it all out through your mouth. And then when you're ready, starting with that yogi breath. So hands onto your belly, send a long, deep breath down to the lowest part of your lungs. Let your belly lift. And then inhaling all the way up through the collarbones. When you're ready to exhale, press your navel in, letting all the air leave. When you're ready to inhale again, lifting through the belly, your back should expand, your sides, all the way up into the highest part of your lungs. And when you exhale, draw your navel back, letting all the air leave from the bottom up. So a couple more breaths here like this. Just try to get your breath even longer each time you inhale. If you like to practice that Ujjayi breath, sounds like Darth Vader breathing on your inhale and your exhale. You can start to engage that now. And then when you're ready, if your eyes are closed, you can keep them closed. We're just going to start to windscreen wipe with the knees side to side. So you have your feet the width of your mat so that you have space to try to bring whichever knee is on the inside as far down as feels good, and then over to the other side. And just moving it a little bit deeper each time that you come into this little bit of a twist. Trying to see if you can get your knees down to the floor. And then the next time that you come up through center, we're just going to take the left ankle, cross it across your right thigh. Starting here, maybe you can take your hand onto your left leg, pressing the knee out a little bit further. See how that feels? If that feels all well and good and you want it to be deeper, you can start to draw the knees in towards the chest. Bring your hands onto the back of your right thigh and use your left elbow to press that knee open. Maybe rocking around a little bit, you can rotate your right ankle. When you're ready, we're going to keep the hands on the back of the right thigh. Just bring your left leg down, and we're going to reach the right heel up towards the ceiling. Point and flex the toe a couple of times. And then when it feels good, you're going to keep both hips on the ground, and you're just going to shift that foot over across your center line. So you're not coming into a twist. It's just coming over a little bit. Maybe you can pull it up towards your shoulder. Hopefully that gets a nice stretch down the outside of your leg, maybe down into your booty. And then when it feels good, we're just going to bend in that right leg, take your ankle across the left thigh, just like before, staying right here. Bring your hand onto your knee, pressing the knee open. And then if that feels good and you need more of a stretch, you'll bring your knees in towards your chest, hands onto the back of the left thigh, and press your knee open using your elbow. Try to keep your back down on the ground so you're not lifting all the way up. Low back is flat, it's just your legs coming in, so they're hinging at that hip crease. And then when it feels good for you, releasing that right leg down, left leg pointing towards the ceiling. You can point and flex the toe a few times. And then just like on the other side, when you're ready, you're just going to take that leg across that center line of your body. So again, you're not coming into a twist. You're just bringing your heel across your midline, maybe up towards your shoulders a little bit, getting a stretch down that outside of your hip, maybe into your booty, depending on where you're tight. And then when you're ready, bending that knee, take both knees into the chest, just rock around a little bit. And then we're going to bring the hands, if they're not there already, on tops of the knees and draw some big circles, bringing the knees out and away from each other as if you're doing the breaststroke. So you'll start in one direction and then move on to the other. And then hugging the knees all the way into the chest. You can start to rock forward and back. And then we're going to come all the way up to seated. So alternate face the camera, hands onto your knees, lengthen through your spine. We're just going to draw some big circles with our upper body. So coming as far forward as you can. Hold on to your knees as you come back. And then reaching forward again. So as you come back, you're reaching your upper back towards the back. As you come forward, reach your chest as far forward as you can. So almost like you're doing that cat and cow, just bringing a big circle into it and noticing how this feels in your hips. When you're ready for it, we'll take the circles in the opposite direction. Seeing how it feels different as you come across each leg in the opposite direction. And then come back to center. We're going to change the cross in the legs if it's comfortable for you, or we're going to do the same thing again. So just taking a couple of circles, seeing how that changes the feeling through the hips. And then we'll go the opposite way. And then when you're ready, coming back through center, lengthen up really tall, reaching as high as you can. You're going to take your left hand down, reach your right arm over, finding that side bend. Keep yourself in your side bend, press into your left hand and see if you can open your chest towards the ceiling so you're side bending and twisting. And then we're going to take the right hand all the way down to the floor, finding a twist. See if you can lengthen your chest long and sink over that leg. On your next inhale, come all the way back up to center, lengthen really tall. And then we'll take the right hand down, reach over with the left, sink in. And then keeping the side bend, press into your right hand, see if you can open your chest towards the ceiling. On your next exhale, your top hand's going to come down, folding over that leg. And then lengthen back up to center, reach really tall. Exhale over your legs, holding there. I can hear one of my kids is coming for a roll of toilet paper. I'm going to put it outside the door. Are you coming for toilet paper? Yeah. So come get it. So one more long breath here in that fold. See if you can get your chest a little bit longer.
Kayla, there's something in there that I need.
And then we're going to inhale, reach all the way up, lengthen really tall.
There's something in
And exhale, take the hands down. We're going to turn towards the front of our mat, finding all fours. 1 second.
There's something I need.
What do you need?
It's something on the switch. It's the thing.
You'll have to just wait.
It's a thing that I want.
All right, so finding your way to all fours. Sorry about that. Kids can't leave you alone for an hour. So taking your hands wide, start to flow through cat and cow just a couple of times. And then coming back through center, take your feet together, knees wide. We're going to send our hips back towards like a child's pose. Lengthen as much as you can. Try to get your chest and belly down between your legs. And we're going to keep our toes together, and we're going to inhale to come forward. So almost like you're coming into like a tadpole pose, but you're going to keep your legs on the ground. A little bit of weird modification of a plank. Knees are open. And we'll exhale to come back. So a few times like this, shifting forward to inhale, exhaling to press back, inhaling up, exhaling back. One more time here. And then we'll come back up through center. You're going to take your knees back in, bring them all the way to where they're touching, tuck your toes under, and we're just going to take the toes out as far as you can. So you're taking them out to the sides, trying to keep those knees together, and then back into center. A few times like this. Just internally rotating through that hip. And then finding your way back into center. Take your hands a little bit further forward. We'll find our way to downward facing dog. So if you don't feel like taking down dog today, you can stay on your knees, reaching your arms long and just bringing your head between your triceps or biceps. Otherwise, finding down dog, spread your fingers wide. See if you can send your tailbone up. Your knees can be as bent as you need to keep that spine long. And then looking forward, walk your feet up to the top of your mat. So we're just going to take 2 rounds of sun salutation A. So lengthening to come halfway up, reach your spine. Exhale, fold. And inhale, reach all the way up. Lengthen tall. As you exhale, come straight back down. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Come halfway up, lengthening. And then exhale, folding down. Plant your hands. We're going to step back into plank. Down onto the knees if you need to. Shift your shoulders, elbows pointing back, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, lifting the chest. And exhale back to downward facing. Pedaling the legs. And then looking forward, walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Come halfway up, lengthen your spine. See if you can send those inner thighs towards the back of the room. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up. Squeeze your glutes, lengthen, open your chest. Same thing again. Exhale, straight back down. Lengthening halfway up. Reach your spine long. See if you can send your inner thighs back towards the back of the room. Exhale, folding. Plant your hands. Step your way back. Find your way up your chaturanga. On your knees if you prefer. Inhaling the chest up. And exhale, find your way back to downward facing dog, holding there. We're going to take our toes wide. So we did this on Tuesday. You're going to walk your hands halfway back. And as you exhale, sink the whole chest down towards the floor. Inhale, send the hips back up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. See if it feels good to walk your hands all the way back and sink into that yogi squat. So you can have your heels up off the ground and your hands on the floor if you need to. Or maybe you can sink down and that feels good. See if you can arch your back a little bit. Reaching your chest forward. Just connecting back with your breath. And then when it feels good, hands back down on the floor. We're going to walk ourselves out towards a plank. Pull your belly in. See if you can relax your shoulders back a little bit. You're going to bring your right hand to center. And we're going to open into a side plank. So opening all the way up. Your bottom knee can come down if that feels better for you. Or even your front leg can come in front of you. Front leg, top leg. On your exhale, come back down to center. We're going to come to the other side. So left hand to center, pivoting onto that outside of that foot. Side plank, bottom knee can come down. Top foot can come out in front of you. And then on your exhale, bring yourself back down. Find your way back to downward facing. We're going to lift the left leg high, bend the knee, open the hip, draw a couple of big circles in one direction and the other. And then taking that foot slowly down behind you. So a lot of people feel like they can't do Wild Thing. You can do it. You're going to take your left foot, you're going to bring it like, I don't know, 20 centimeters or a foot or whatever behind you, behind your right foot. Put the weight into it. Put the weight into your right hand so you can lift it up. And then see if you can come onto your toes and turn your chest towards the ceiling. Okay? So you'll hold here, lengthening, and then exhale, come all the way back down, uncross your ankles, sink back into downward facing. And we'll try the other side. So right leg's gonna come up, bend the knee, open the hips, draw some big circles in one direction and the other. And then we're going to try that Wild Thing. So you're going to bring your right foot down to the outside of your left foot. So it's like a foot, 20, 30 centimeters. Put the weight into your left hand. Maybe you can pick up your right hand. We're going to try to pivot our hips open, bringing your chest towards the ceiling. On your next exhale, we're going to come all the way back down. Find your way back into downward facing dog. Pedal your legs. And then the right leg's going to lift. Squeeze it high so you can send your left heel down. And we're going to step the foot all the way up to the top of the mat. Back knee's going to come down, finding a kneeling lunge. Squeeze your glutes on that back leg. You can lift. Inhaling up. On your exhale, we're going to twist away from our front leg. So you're going to twist open towards the left. Maybe you can bring your hand around you. When you're ready, come back up through center. Hands down onto the floor. We're going to shift our weight, finding that half split. And we're going to take our hands to the inside of the front foot. You're going to pivot your left toes so they're facing back behind you. Walk your hands over, but we're going to have our right knee bent. So you're not in gate pose. You're just like a weird kneeling side lunge that I'm sure has a name. And then if it feels good, you're going to press into the heel, and we're just going to sink over and lift back up. One more time here. Coming back up, you're going to bring your left hand down to the floor. We're going to shift that left foot or left knee so that it's coming out to a diagonal, and you're going to bring your right foot out in front, holding there. If it feels okay, you can come all the way up, finding that side plank with the top leg in front of you, but you can keep that bottom knee down if it feels better. Trying not to lock out your elbow on that left hand. And we're going to bring the right hand down, shift your way, find downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs. And then we'll do the other side. So left leg's going to reach high, send your right heel to the floor. And we'll step the left foot all the way up, right knee down to the ground. Squeeze your glutes, lengthen really high. When you're ready, you're going to twist towards the right, so twisting open away from your bent leg. Come back up to center, hands down to the floor. Shift back for that half split. And then when you're ready, shifting your way back forward, hands to the inside. You're gonna pivot that right leg back, finding your way into this like side lunge. We'll do just like we did before. So you can do whatever you want with your hands. You're just gonna shift in, press into your heel to lift back out. So try to connect this movement back with your breath. Exhaling to sink in, and inhaling to press back out. Last time here. And then we're going to bring the right hand down. Shift your right knee back a little bit so you can find that angle down the side of the body, and you're going to bring your left foot out in front of you. So you're in like a really weird double modified side plank, and the bottom leg can come up if you want to, so that you just have the one leg supporting you. When you're ready, come back through center, stepping your way back to downward facing dog. So from here, we're going to shift forward, holding on in your plank. Spread your fingertips wide. And we're going to take side plank again. So you're going to bring your left hand to center first. We'll shift to the outside, opening up towards the right. Bottom knee can come down. Top leg can come out in front of you. On your exhale, come back to center. And we'll do the other side. So right hand coming into center, opening up, finding that side plank. Bottom knee can come down. Top foot can come out in front of you. Just finding where it feels good, but a little bit challenging. When you're ready, we'll come back through center. On the knees if you feel like it, or skip it completely. We'll shift through chaturanga, up dog or cobra, and then find your way back to downward facing. Take the toes wide, walk your hands back towards the middle of your mat, and we'll sink the whole chest down, seeing if it feels a little bit better this time. When you inhale, lift, and when you exhale, lower. This next time that you have your hips down, we're going to hold there, walking the feet, or the hands all the way back to the feet. Hopefully this feels a little bit better this time. Opening your chest up, see if you can reach your chest forward. And then we'll see how it feels to come all the way up to standing on the tippy toes. So you're going to press into your feet, lift all the way up, come onto your toes if you can. Woo! Squeeze your glutes. And then depending on how it feels for your knees or your hips, you can just plie here. Or if it feels good and you're excited about it, you can sink all the way back down. And then we'll lift all the way back up. Squeeze your glutes at the top. All the way back down. All the way back up. All the way down. All the way up, holding here. See if you can lengthen the arms up over the head, get as tall as possible. Keep lifting up off of those heels as high as you can. And then as you exhale, sink the heels back down, bring your feet together. We're going to come into chair pose. So I'm just going to turn to face the front because we're going to do the same thing on both sides. So find your chair pose, sink in as much as you can, try to keep your chest up and pull your belly in. You can see your toes, right? From here, we're going to press into the right leg. Into the right leg, left knee is going to come out to the side like you're taking tree pose. So you're going to bring it up as close to your thigh and up to your booty as you can. So we're not out like this. We're squeezing the hamstring and the thigh. Squeeze back down. And we'll move to the other side. So weights in the left leg, right knee up and in, and then sink back down. Up and in. Ooh. And back down. So every time you lower, try to engage through your glutes, keep your belly tight. Weights back in your heels. So keep moving through here. We're going to do one more with the right leg. And then this time as you come up with that left leg, we're going to find tree pose. So your tree pose can be with your toe on the ground. Squeeze your glutes, pull your belly in. If this feels all well and good, move your hand or your foot up onto your calf. Try to keep opening that knee out to the side. If this is all well and good, your foot can come inside of your thigh. Squeezing the hips forward, squeeze your knee open, lengthening, and then make it a challenge. So maybe hands over your head, maybe looking up. If there's not really much to distract you, to watch moving because you're not around other people, maybe try closing one eye, or you can close both eyes. Find where you feel like you're going to fall over. So maybe close your eyes and move. Ah. Woo. Do the wave with your arms. Am I good at that? I don't think I am. I can see myself. It doesn't look terrible, but I don't know. You can flap your wings, you can grow, you can lean over to one side, holding there. We're going to just keep holding this tree pose. So find where it's difficult. Try to keep pressing that knee out. You're still engaged in your glutes and your core. Dancing around in your tree. It's not that serious. When you're ready, we're going to take that same left foot, but you're just going to cross it across the opposite thigh. So now you're in a figure of four. You can stay standing high. Maybe you need to have your ankle all the way down across your shin. If you have it up on your thigh and it feels good, we'll sink down as far as you can, finding a figure of four. Or one leg chair. Press into your heel, make sure you're squeezing the glutes. If you have it in your practice and you want to, you can take your hands onto the floor, find your way into like flying pigeon. I can't, so maybe on the other side. Hopefully you got burning happening somewhere in your legs. When it feels good, we're going to come up to standing. You're going to bring your left knee into your chest. Woo! And then we're going to come back down into chair pose. So holding down there. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring the right knee, finding tree. So toe can be tapped on the ground. Squeeze your glutes forward, pull your belly in. Find that knee out to the side before you start to come up. Because if you come up and your knee's coming forward, that's not getting what we're looking for here. So your knee's pointing out to the side. Try to get it where it feels comfortable for you. So it could be your calf, or it could be all the way up inside of your thigh. As long as your knee is still trying to squeeze open, you're squeezing your glutes, belly pulled in, and then again, make this challenging for yourself. So maybe that's your arms up. Maybe it's leaning. I don't know, just like before. Maybe you want to dance. Maybe you want to try closing your eyes. Just remembering to breathe and keep everything in that lower half of your body really tight. You can try twisting your chest. Ooh, just do whatever you need to do to make this hard. You can even try lifting up and down off of your heel, which is really hard. Woo! Just try to do something to try to make yourself fall down. or almost fall, like I'm doing right now. That's why I'm doing this weird. Hopefully this is like the cover, the cover photo for this video, me looking like this. So just moving around. Maybe just looking at me moving around is making it challenging for you to stand still. We still got a little while to hold here to even out from the other side. Make sure you're still squeezing, trying to get that knee open. Still breathing. So when you're ready, just like on the other side, if it feels good, we're going to take that ankle of the right leg, cross it across your left. Again, it can be down here if you need to, just trying to get that knee open a little bit more. If it feels good, sink all the way down, finding your way into that like one leg chair, that figure 4. The deeper you sink into this, the deeper you're going to feel it outside that hip. Just like before, if you have that perched or flying pigeon in your practice, you can come down onto the floor. Maybe I can do it on the side. Nope, not today. So just doing what feels good for you, but make it a little bit of a challenge. We'll take 2 more long breaths here. And then we're going to bring that knee all the way back up into the chest. And then sink back down into chair pose. So not getting a break in the legs yet. So if you've turned to face the long edge of your mat, we're just going to make our way back to the front. And then as you inhale, lengthen all the way up. As you exhale, sink down, finding a forward fold. We'll come halfway up, lengthen your chest. Exhale, folding down, plant your hands, step your way back to a plank. We're going to bring the left hand to center, opening up into your side plank. Top leg is going to come in front of you this time. See if you can turn your toes down towards the back of your mat. So you're doing like that figure 4 that we just did standing, but now you're in a side plank. On your exhale, take that hand down, come back through center plank, and we'll move to the other side. So right hand to center, pivoting, opening up, and then your left foot's going to come to the ground, toes pointing down towards the back. Woo, oh no. And then come back through center, find downward facing dog. So when you're ready, we're going to bring the right leg high, squeeze it up, send your left heel down, and then step that right foot all the way forward. You're going to bring your hands to the inside of that knee, top of the back foot's on the ground. We're just going to drop the knee in and out a couple of times. If you like to, and you can keep your spine long, you can come down onto your forearms. If it's in your practice to take flying lizard, you can if you want to, or that scissors. So you'll bring your arm underneath your leg, so your knee pit is right near your shoulder. Spread your fingertips wide, you'll tuck your back toes, start to bring that front foot forward, and maybe you can lift off with the back leg. Just for fun, just for those of you who are looking for a little bit more strength challenge, please don't beat yourself up if you can't do that. It's really hard and I can barely do it. So you just watch me do it for 1 second. Should be able to hold it. When you're ready, you're going to frame your front foot. You're going to heel toe the foot all the way across to the opposite side of the mat, maybe down towards your hip a little bit. We're going to find pigeon pose. So in pigeon pose, make sure that you have your knee coming out to the side so that you're getting that rotation in your hip. The opposite foot is pointed, and we're going to keep it pointed the whole time. I know that some of you maybe like to flex it, but let's keep it pointed. And then if it feels good, maybe you can tuck your back toes and sink further back so you're really getting that rotation in the hip, coming to like the side of your calf rather than on your shin. And if you like to, you can lay down. On your next inhale, we're going to come back up onto the hands. You're going to tuck your back toes, press into your hands, see if you can step your way back into a plank, and back to downward facing dog, and we'll do the other side. So left leg's going to lift up, see if you can send your right heel down. And then we're going to step the left foot all the way up. Take your hands to the inside of your foot, and we'll just let the knee drop out and come back in. So hopefully you can see knee dropping out. The sole of your foot is coming off the floor too. Just like on the other side, maybe you like to come down onto your forearms for this. Maybe you want to try that flying pigeon. So since I did the other, not flying pigeon, make me stop saying that. Flying lizard. So your elbow or your shoulders trying to come under your knee pit. You'll bring the front leg forward and squeeze that back leg up. This side's not going for it today. And that's okay, right? I'm looking at myself now doing it on my phone because it's a little bit of a lag. Terrible. How embarrassing. And then when you're ready, we're going to frame the front foot, heel toe it over to the opposite side, maybe back a little bit, and bring the side or the front of your shin down, point your toe, find where you're comfortable. So you want both hips down so you're not out on the side. Both hips are down. Maybe you want to tuck your back toes and scoot your hips back further. Try not to grab your foot and pull it forward because that's really not great for your knee. And then if it feels good, maybe you want to lay down. And then when it feels good, coming back up, we're just going to press out. Come down to seated. So if whatever you're watching me on is at the front of your mat, you can keep yourself to the front of the mat. I'm going to come here so you can see what we're doing. So soles of the feet are going to come onto the ground, knees wide. We're just going to start by doing that same thing we did on our back earlier. So your windscreen wipering your knees side to side. Try to bring whatever foot or whatever leg is in the middle all the way to the floor. And then this next time when you have your right knee in, we're going to hold there. Adjust yourself a little bit if you need to. So your right knee is inside of your left sole of the foot, and you're just in this like side seat. I called it in class the other day the Kevin seat because Kevin can't sit cross-legged, so he sits like this on the floor all the time. He should do yoga, right? So when you're ready, this is your right hand is going to come down to the floor. You're going to lengthen up, find that side bend. See if you can press your hips down into the floor and lengthen out through that left fingertips. On your next inhale, come all the way back over. We're going to put the weight into the left leg. So if you have any pain here that's not like my muscles are just kind of weak pain, like through the top of your leg, that'll be like a muscles weak pain. If you're having pain in your hip whilst you're doing this, please just don't do it. You can just come to cross leg instead. But we're going to lean the weight out to the left. We're going to kick that right leg out. Shift yourself forward so that you're sitting, and we're going to bring it all the way back around. Shifting all the way back, bend the knee, let the leg hover, lengthen back out, and bring it around. And we'll take that a few more times. Lengthening it out, bend the knee, squeeze your hamstring, lengthen out, and come around. Lengthen out, and bend, lengthen out, and sit, lengthen out. We'll take it forward one last time, sitting down, knees or soles of the feet onto the ground, and we'll just shift side to side again. Dropping the legs over to the other side, coming to that like zigzaggy seat. You're going to bring your left hand down to the floor. We'll reach over with the right arm, lengthen really long down your side. See if you can shift your hips a little bit over towards the right. And then come all the way back up. So just like before, we're going to do that kind of like hip mobility movement. So if it doesn't feel good, just skip it. You'll come to the outside of the right leg, kick your left leg out, bring it around, and then all the way back out. And squeeze your hamstring, bringing that heel in towards your booty. Keep squeezing it when you come through, noticing if maybe this side feels a little bit weaker than the other, or maybe stronger. As usual, I forgot to count, so I think that was about even. Soles of the feet onto the ground, windscreen wiper the knees side to side. And then taking yourself back to center, let the soles of your feet come together, knees dropping out. See if you can open the soles of the feet up to the ceiling like a book, lengthening really tall. Your hands can come behind you if that feels good. Or if you'd like to lean forward, you can try that. If it starts to make your upper back round, try to relax the shoulders back or keep your hands behind you, because doing this and trying to get the top of your head to your feet isn't going to do anything. We're just trying to sink forward, spine's nice and long. You're hinging from that hip joint. On your next inhale, gently come up. We're just going to come down and laying down on our backs. All the way down onto the floor. When you get there, take your hands right onto that place where your thighs and your hips meet. Press into it and see if you can scoot your shoulders away, lengthening down that low back. When you're ready from here, we're going to take the feet wide again like we did at the start of class. This time just letting the knees drop in. And I'll turn my hips towards the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. So your feet are wide, knees are dropping in. If that feels good, you're just gonna stay with that. If you need more, you're gonna let your left knee drop in. You're gonna bring your right fist underneath your right bum cheek, and then you're gonna bring your right heel across. So your fist is under your booty so that you don't come into a twist here. You're keeping your hips even. This will just add a little bit more weight into this internal rotation in your hip. You can walk your foot out a little bit further if you need to. Both hips on the ground. But again, if having just the knees dropping in feels good, we'll just stay there. So if you have the one leg crossed over, take it down. We'll move to the other side. So the right knee's in, left fist under left booty cheek, and then you'll bring your left heel across, pressing weight into that right knee, letting it drop in further. So make sure you're letting the sole of the foot come off the ground. I should have said this on the other side. So you don't have the foot flat down and you're straining the ankle. You're right on the inside edge of your foot. Noticing if one side feels a little bit more intense than the other. And then you can stay like that if you like to. Otherwise, bringing the knees back up to center. I think we did this on Tuesday too. Soles of the feet on the ground. You're going to keep the hips on the ground so they're not lifting up into bridge. They're straight down on the ground. And you're just going to lift that mid back up towards the ceiling so you have space where a little mouse could run underneath your back. And then you'll press it back down, squeezing in your core. So you're just like taking a cat and cow. When it feels good for you, you can start to windshield wiper the knees side to side. If you like to, you can hold in a twist instead of bringing them side to side. And then when you're ready for it, just drawing those knees back into your chest, maybe rocking around for a moment. And when it feels good, take the knees in, give yourself a hug, nice tight squeeze, long deep inhale. Holding that breath in as long as you can. And then as you exhale, release yourself down. Find wherever you want to be for your Shavasana. So maybe you like having your knees dropping in, you can stay there. Or you can lengthen your legs out, whatever feels good for you. And then just like before, I'm not going to stay here for a full Shavasana, so you're welcome to stay here. You can mute me or turn me off now. Otherwise, if you want, we'll just take 10 long inhales and exhales. On your next inhale, you can start to bring some movement back into your body. Taking a long breath and stretch through your whole body. And then maybe rolling off onto one side. Using your arm as a pillow. When it feels good for you, gently start to press yourself back up. Finding any seated position that's comfortable for you. We'll take a long, deep inhale, lengthening the arms up above the head. As you exhale, take your palms together at your heart center. Take a moment to give gratitude to your body. And thank you guys for joining me. So please, please, please share this with your friends. Tell them about it. I'm going to keep doing it until we start having class again. Laura is going to be doing live in the evenings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Karina has been doing Wednesdays. You can do HIIT class with Rhonda whenever she's doing it, so if you follow Rhonda's page. So everybody is doing fitness for you from home. So with that in mind, again, if your income is not affected by everything being closed down, I would appreciate it. They would appreciate it. If you're using the online content that we're creating, if you could send a donation, that would be fantastic. I have a GoFundMe page. I'm sure that the other ladies, they have somewhere where you can send a donation to them, because we are not getting paid because we don't have class. So if you have any requests for what you want to do, just let me know. You can send me a message or an email. And again, just share with your friends, tell them, let them know that I'm here and doing this so that I have a reason to continue, because if nobody is coming and watching, it makes it kind of sad to try to keep doing it. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.